Hi, hello, good day. Welcome to the chat on Niger Watch. My name is Ima. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our Niger Watch family across the globe. Yes, how are you doing? Thank you for joining me on this broadcast. This broadcast is particularly very important. This broadcast is particularly very important. Welcome. If you're just joining in, welcome. Please do well to say something in the comment section. Let me know where you are joining in from. Yes, please, something. Welcome to the broadcast. Please do well to like this broadcast. Do well to share this broadcast. Do well to invite someone onto this broadcast. We have to talk about this. This is I don't know, but I think I have an idea how this broadcast is going. Is how it's going to go today. But let's see. Welcome, as you know, what we are talking about today. Describe Nigeria at 62. Yes, that's what we'll be talking about today. Solomon Innocent, hi, how you doing? Good afternoon to you too. Happy New Week and welcome to the broadcast. Comrade Roland Omorodio, how are you doing? Yes, I am doing just fine. Thank you very much. Oh, from Germany. All right. How do we say hi in Germany? Let me know. Osakufo, good day to you too, dearest Osakufo. How you doing? Thank you very much. All right. Solomon Innocent, thank you. Thank you. Doing just fine and great. Thank you so very much. To my panelists, brother Nice, good afternoon to you, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, good afternoon, Miss Emma. I'm fine, and you? How you doing?
I'm fine, brother Nice. I'm fine. I'm fine. I have
You know
mixed.
one thing, eh? You know what? One thing, Miss Emma, eh? You're just fine without no makeup. Just take that.
Brother Nice, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. All right, welcome to the broadcast again. Gabriel Esse, how are you doing? Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you and welcome on the broadcast. Man of Prestige, how are you doing? Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, man. Nice to see you. Okay, great.
Yes, sir. Thank you and welcome to the broadcast. All right. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. All right. Guten Tag to you, Solomon, and to every other person in Germany. I hope Germany is treating you very nice. I saw a video of a viral video trending on the internet. Say that's what people are going through in Italy. That the video said that I think Nigerians or Africans or blacks that what they are being subjected to by the Italian police and. I wouldn't want to generalize that, that such racism is going on in such in Italy. But if you are living in Italy and you want to confirm the story, I'd like to hear. And if blacks, if Nigerians, if Africans are being treated awfully in the country that you have resided, I also would like to know if we could have a series on that. So we bring to the knowledge of people what is happening in these places. It will be very good for us to know. It will be very good for people to see what's happening. All right. Mr. Pansas HD, good afternoon to you and welcome to the broadcast.
Good afternoon. Long time no see.
I tell you, it's been a while. All right, welcome to the broadcast, sir. So today we are talking about Nigeria at 62. Yes. But Anais, does this picture depict Nigeria?
What does this picture stand for?
Do you
Hello?
agree with this picture? That's what I'm asking you. Do you agree with this picture?
Yeah, but I cannot get the signal. What is the picture stand for? That is what I'm saying.
No,
What does it stand for?
I'm asking you, do you agree with that picture? As you can see, it means that the country is things are not fine. It just says the state of the country, according to this cartoon flick. That's supposed to be the president watching the country being, ripped apart, the bullet holes. I don't know if it has to signify that, if it has anything to do with the protesters that were holding flags and were shot at. And if you can tell, the write-up is in what it seemed like red, and you can tell the patch. It means that there's a divide in like in places in Nigeria. Now this is where your submission comes in. Describe Nigeria at 62.
Yeah. If you ask me, I would say that the flag is signify a lot of condition where we find ourselves today. You know, there's a lot of distortion in the country, division, killings, bombing, all kind of things, evil things you can speak of at the watch of the presidency. You know, the president is just there doing nothing about the situation of the country. The country is going into chaos. A lot of division in the country, ethnic riot, all kind of this thing, attacks from different places. Terrorists are tripping in into the country. The government is not doing anything about it. You know, a lot of chaos. You understand? That flag represents every single problem that we are facing in that country, which is very true. You understand? At 62, we are still where we are today, even worse than where we was before. You understand? With the president of the day, it's just it's a pity. It's a pity. I was looking at the speech of the president at the October 1st. The president himself, he doesn't even have he don't have anything to tell Nigerians. In his speech, we don't even know where he's even driving to. We don't know what he's even talking about because him himself is confused. You understand? He doesn't even know what to do. You understand? But my question is that why, if you know you are incompetent to handle a nation, why are you coming out as a president in the first place to rule a country when you know that you don't even have an idea and the strategy to rule a nation? Why will you come out? Or are they thinking that Aso Rock is a retire home? Eh? I don't know if these people just think that Aso Rock is a retire home for old men. Like Tinubu now, he cannot even stand up from his bed. That's even insisting that Emilokon that is his son. Somebody that cannot move around the country. He cannot even solve the problem of his own health. He said he wants to rule a nation. How are you going to solve the problem of a nation? Over 2 million people with all the kind of chaos that is in that country. They said they want to build in a legacy of the President Buhari. Which kind of legacy that President Buhari have left that you people want to build on? That means that you are going to make the country more worse than the situation where Buhari left it. So I don't see what these people are talking about. I don't understand. And our Nigerians, some youth are still clamoring for these people to become the next president of the country. It's a pity. 62 years. Look at where we are today. We cannot produce. We cannot invent. Look at India today. Look at where Brazil, where they are today. But Nigeria, nothing. Everything that we used to do before, none of them is in place anymore. All of them is in shambles. All those 504 Peugeots that they used to couple in the north, I don't think those things exist anymore. I think it's in Kano or Kaduna. Those things don't happen anymore. All the things that we used to do that Nigeria has before, those industry, everything, all of them is gone. You understand? Instead of them to build on what they come to meet, but they will destroy what they come to meet. That's the kind of leaders we have. So, my sister, the Nigeria is retrogressing. It's not progressing. You understand? The only hope we have now is just for the next president. Let us give him chance to see what he will do for us, what he's going to do about this situation where we find ourselves. Thank you, Ms. Lima. Thank you for now.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for your submission. Please, if you are here, please kindly do well to put your mic on mute until it's your turn to speak. And Solomon Innocent, please, you need to give permission to your mic and your cam. I think it's your mic because your cam is on. So please do well to give permission to both of them, your mic and your cam, so I'll be able to add you. Please exit the studio and come back in. But this time around, give permission to your mic and your cam. You can put your cam on, you can close your cam and you can turn off your mic as well, but give permission first. Okay, I'd like to have you on the broadcast. If you're just joining in, welcome to the chat on Niger Watch. Welcome. My name is Ima, reporting live from Lagos, Nigeria. We are talking about, Nigeria at 62. Yes, we are describing our nation at our country at 62. So come in. This is gonna be a worthy broadcast. Invite someone to come and hear and listen to how the good people of Nigeria, feel about our country at 62. Please do well to like this broadcast, do well to share and invite someone onto the broadcast. Come into this comment section and also do well to support us by clicking on the dollar sign to the right on the comment section. Also, you have the link posted up there. If you'd like to join this very worthy conversation, please click on the link and come into the studio. Thank you for being here. All right, man of prestige.
Yeah, hey Emma, how you doing?
Well, thank you, sir. If you saw that picture and talking about this, please take it away. How do you feel about our beloved country at 62?
Yeah, what is it to be beloved about? Like I was speaking to one of my nieces yesterday, so that get to epitomize the country where we are. So I asked my niece, "How are you celebrating the independence?" And she was mad. She told me, "What independence? This is somebody about 19 years old." She asked me, "What kind of independence am I celebrating?" He said, "Nigeria has not done good to me, so I'm not celebrating anything." So I even asked her, "Did you go out and see the rally?" She said, "Yeah, I see the rally, but I didn't participate." I mean, she already has her PVC, but she was so annoyed. There's nothing to celebrate. This is somebody in Nigeria. But anyway, having said that, just go to show you about the situation where how everybody feel in that country. Speaking about the flag, I don't know what does that stand. I mean, to begin with, Nigeria is a fair state, in my opinion. I'm hoping that Obi will come and rescue it. The reason why I say that, we have been left behind compared to other African countries. Look at the smaller countries with the small resources like Ghana. I mean, what am I? South Africa. We used to, South Africa. South Africa used to look up to us. I mean, look at where they are right now. They are way ahead of us. What country do you want me to name? Even small country like Benin, Togo, I believe they have 24 hours electricity. Look at China. I mean, look at Kenya. If you go to Nairobi, I mean, it looks like mini New York. But look at where we are. I mean, nothing is developing. I just look at it as Nigeria. It's like the way they put us together to begin with. Nigeria is a forced amalgamation, by the people that colonized it. We're not supposed to be together. But having said that, we are together right now. We have not progressed. They put people that are incompatible to be one country. But that this is about 62 years old. Where are we right now? Yeah, I know it was a forced amalgamation, like I said, but we should have gone beyond that and progressed to a different level where other nation has attained. I'm not trying to compare my Nigeria with developed country like USA, London, UK and some other places, but on African standard, we are just sub-zero. It doesn't make any sense. I was reading an article the other day. I think it's Oxford Economics of Africa. Nigeria is the fourth worst place to invest in Africa, behind Zambia. No, no, not Zambia. Uh, Namibia, Somalia. I think Somalia and Sudan. Yeah, I want some of those countries. Nigeria is the fourth worst place to invest. Nobody's going to come to invest. Even my friends, that are investment banker, they say they're not coming to Nigeria to invest just because of the security and everything. And Nigeria would have been the best place to invest in Africa. So what am I to make of that? What am I to make of that picture? It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, sometimes I tend to cry about this, the country where we are. So Emma, that does not that it doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, I don't know what they're trying to portray there. To be honest, it's just nonsense to me. I hate to use that word when it comes to Nigeria, but I'm hoping that we can rise and do the right thing. And I'm very confident, unless they ring the election, that Obi will attend to that position. That's all I have to say for now, Emma. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in, Manifested. Thank you. I'll come back to you in a minute. Evans, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being on this broadcast. Thank you. And I see your comment right there. Mommy Diaspora, thank you so very much, Mama Dias, for being on this broadcast. Sylvanus Enyi, good afternoon to you, sir. I hope it's afternoon where you are. Thank you for being on this broadcast, Osagovo. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Thank you for being here. Comrade Roland, I see you too. Yes, Solomon Innocent, we are having the same issues. Please do well to give permission to your mic and your cam. Please give permission. That's the only hindrance at this point. You could try again. Let's see how that goes. All right. Thank you also for being here, Gabriel. Thank you so very much. All right. Move to Mr. Pans. Yes, Mr. Pansat, you're still here.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Let me see. We have about is that 20 people? 22 people, and we only give Emma 11 likes. She's wearing a beautiful blue dress, very professional. Let's try to increase the likes for Emma, our host, so that the algorithm with the YouTube is going to be higher than we have it today. Yeah, man of prestige, put it succinctly. Nigeria at 62. Well, what have we accomplished in 62 years? Obviously, the flag is throwing us off because there's a lot of patches. There should only be one patch on that flag, which is we don't have military coups anymore. So I guess we've patched that one. Nothing else, as far as I can recall, has been patched. It's been a rough journey for Nigerians. 6 years after independence, there was a bloody coup, overthrow governments. The war ended in, it led to a war which ended in 1970. So in 79, we had a transition from military to civilian government. Since then, what's going on with Nigeria? It's been nothing but one failed leader after another, starting from Obasanjo, 1999, right? So the state we have it today, let's just look at the economy. Almost all the indices of economic development are negative in Nigeria. Poverty itself is in an endemic state. 80% of our fellow citizens live below the United Nations poverty threshold of just $2 a day. $2. The rate of unemployment is over 35%. Inflation is a 17-year high, over 20%. Debt profile climbed to 42.85 trillion from 21 trillion just 2017, 5 years ago. And it's predicted to get worse, 60 trillion by 2023. So we have a lot of work to do. Education in Nigeria, which is the bedrock of development in any nation, is in shambles. So coups are no longer in vogue, but we're not still better off. Okay, education is the bedrock. There's been strike going over 7 months. The government is not doing anything. They're playing games with the university staff. So no, the flag that is shown has too many patches to it. We don't have that many patches to all the colors that we have, but we can still celebrate. As a matter of fact, I went out yesterday to a nice independent cultural event, and Nigerians, we are wonderful people. We love our country. There was a flag all over the place. I'm typically one of those who could and have reasons to say, you know what, That's not my flag. But we're not supposed to say that. We're Nigerians. We love our country, we love our culture, and we love our future. And that cultural event I went to yesterday was beautiful, lively. We sang the anthem. There was fashion show, beautiful Nigerian women all over the place, dressed in their attire that's proper for the event. And you wouldn't even know it, that we have people being killed and all that, and the leadership failure. I mean, it was vibrant. I was looking at Americans who were looking at our faces, and they wish they were Americans. They wish they could be one of us. Because, I mean, you had the Yoruba cultural thing, vivacious. She's a known quantity in this town, and she does a lot of ties the hair thing. Somebody want a car. The Americans were just too jealous. They wanted to be Nigerians for a day. And we mixed it up, we jammed it up, and I gotta tell you, if we ever get it right, even Britain is gonna want to be subject to us. So let's get it right. Start of this year. Nobody should feel bad or say there's nothing to celebrate. Of course, we have a lot to celebrate. So we're Nigerians and we're happy people. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Mr. Pansat. That was a good one. That was a good one. On Saturday while I was out for the campaign, it's felt good, to be amongst your people, to perceive them and to feel at home being around them. I can't remember the last time anybody on the street of Lagos handed me a bottle of water to drink. I mean, if it wasn't during that campaign rally, I never would have accepted anything like that from anybody. I mean, with the times that we are in, but there was just so much trust. And I started wishing, take us back to that Nigeria where we all feel like one family, where my neighbor can send me a plate of meal and I would accept it. I would accept it when I'm willing to share. Where that Nigeria that was safe enough for children to play around. That Nigeria where at 1, 12, 2 a.m. you can still be sleeping outside if the house is so hot. That Nigeria that was very safe for people. We just For me, that's what I would, if we can get all of it. But let's go back to that place. I wish we could go back to that safe Nigeria where even your neighbors are not seen as terrorists, where I don't know, where we looked out for each other. But the Nigeria of today, you're walking, and if somebody is walking behind you, there's temperature rising, your whole defense is already at high. The Nigeria where you walk on the road 6 p.m. and when you see that shops are closed, you begin to panic, like, oh, what's happening here? Are they about to rob? Did they just rob? That kind of Nigeria. That's what we're experiencing now. You're in traffic and you are praying, you are scared, because you just could be robbed and nothing will happen. The Nigeria that you see a policeman and you are not scared. Now you see policeman even when you have nothing or you've done nothing wrong.
You,
You
you
are
know,
you are disturbed because the police could just, I don't know.
yeah, Emma, I know a lot of people to talk. Let me just use 1 minute to say that I tried not to even go there in my remarks because I wanted to be hopeful. The funny thing is that the insecurity that we're experiencing, I have a feeling that the same corporates that's holding us down in our economy, they are the same ones perpetuating that insecurity. So in 2014 in Borno State, do you know that people went and took almost 300 of our girls up to today? I mean, the insecurity, that kind of insecurity, it started in 2014. Even the president of the country at the time could not even believe it. He's saying, "Hey, I don't think anybody go and take 300 girls." He didn't even believe it. This Bono guy that is Tinubu's vice presidential choice, he's in it. His hands is solid in that activity. It is one of the bane of our society today. That guy is involved in almost, if you follow the thread. So if we're able to get it right, we're going to solve all these problems simultaneously, both our economy and the type of insecurity where even people in the larger society, okay, are waylaid. That's the situation. Travelers are often waylaid or kidnapped by terrorists. So I know I spoke already. So let me just end there by saying we're going to solve the problem simultaneously. When we get the security right, we're going to get our economy at the same time. It's not going to be one after the other. It's going to be, we're going to wash them out. They're going to be out of here. That Bono guy, Shetima, is going to be one of those that are going to be washed away from all this stuff. Thank you very much. Sorry about interjecting again. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you for that submission. Okay, if you're just joining in, welcome to the broadcast. Omoro John Kingsley, thank you for being here. All right, Tabas, you have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you for your time with us today. Thank you. Michael, what is everyone? That's an incomplete statement. Please let me know what you're saying. But welcome to the broadcast, Michael. It's good to have you here. Thank you. Jacob D, thank you for being here. I see your comments. Keep it coming. To those on the comment section, what's your reaction? Describe Nigeria at 62. And if there's anything I thought that you miss about Nigeria, also please let me know in the comment section. What's that thing you miss about Nigeria? You wish we could get back to that place. Nigeria is 62. Our country is 62. Comrade, how are you doing, comrade?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm fine. And you?
I'm well, thank you very much, sir. Welcome to the broadcast.
Good. Thank you very much. Let me just say a word regarding to the map, the flag you just shown on the screen. The flag, there is a concept that I don't really agree with in the flag. Of the truth, Nigeria as a country is a failed state already. By the flag we are seeing on the screen, we can see different kind of holes and kind of patches around it. That is what Nigeria is today. But the picture of the president that looks like someone that is surprised, I think I don't quite agree with that. Because if this picture is the true state of how the president feels, it means something is wrong. Because the cabals, the president and his crew, they know quite well what is happening in Nigeria. It is what they have created. That is what is happening. So if the president pictures like this is folding hands to look at Nigeria, the flag, like it's a surprising thing to the president, it is not correct. It is not correct. They know what they are doing, because when he was coming in, he made mention of setting some certain things to put some certain things right. But immediately he gets to that seat, he started doing otherwise, the other side of it. So it means they know what they are doing. I wonder what somebody from APC would want to say to Nigerians today, like, this is what I want to do, that Buhari did not say. They have all said all these things. Is it the PDP? They have all said all these things. So there is no need of drawing a president, folding his hand as if he's surprised by what he's saying. That is in a state of empathy, like what me and you are feeling. No, it is not like that. They think in a different direction. They don't think like us. No. So that is the only concept that I don't agree with. The president folding his hand, opening his eyes as if he's very surprised of what he's saying. No, it's what they have created. So that is my submission in that picture.
All right. Thank you very much, comrade. I wouldn't blame the artist. For every time the president come out to react on something, he is always shocked. You wouldn't blame the artist.
No, I understand, but what I want to say, I am only discarding it to the people that we should not be carried away by that sign. It's not right. They can put it that way. He can act that way. But I'm only telling our people, the how am I going to put it? The Nigerians, that whenever we see them that way, it's a fake attitude. It is not real. We should not believe it. They know what they are doing. They are not surprised at all.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for your comment. Thank you. And if you're just joining in, welcome to the chat on Niger Watch. Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, my good evening from here. I'm happy to be here. Happy Independence Day to you and to all the panelists and viewers all over the world.
Thank
And
you, sir.
especially happy Independence Day to my president, Comrade Rolando Moro. He was the president of Nigeria, Edos in diaspora. I'm happy to see you here, sir. Okay. Uh, the flag that shows that depicts what Nigeria is actually about. I think is a true picture of what is where Nigerians are going through. There is or there are mutilations, there are stitches, there are a lot of images depicting what Nigeria is actually about. And the president, looking as if he's surprised, like comrade said, the president of those in diaspora said, it looks as if he's surprised. That is his demeanor. That's the way he behaves. He has even said that he wasn't aware of so many of these issues going on in the country. But anyway, we still have to congratulate the citizens. For me, I have come here not to congratulate Nigeria as a country, but to congratulate the citizens of Nigeria for their perseverance. There's a reason for that. Like I said before, I just came back from Nigeria 2 weeks ago, and I've been there 3 times this year. So I've seen a lot. When you go to Benin, you see a lot of good houses. You see not only Benin. I think this the whole of the south, the people that left Nigeria when the hardship was becoming too excruciating. People decided to leave. They went abroad. I want to say thank you to all of them because they did not disappoint Nigeria as a country. They all left because of the excruciating financial situation. They left and they started remitting money back home and building houses and taking care of their families. Were it not for these people that went abroad, more especially these people from Benin, I want to say thank you very much to all of them because they made good use of the opportunities they had. Most of them traveled through the land, through the air, and they got there, suffered, went through a lot of harsh conditions, dehumanizing sometimes, you know, uh, you know, all these, white people, racism and all that. They went through all that and were able to ferry money back home and made a lot of differences. I want to say again, thank you very much to all of you that traveled abroad and came back with something. And not only the Benin people, the Igbos, the Yorubas, and so on, people that you see, these people, they are great people. Were it not for them, the South would have been, dumping ground for whatever rubbish. So thank you very much to all these citizens that left, and some of them are already back. Some are still living abroad, making good use of the opportunities, and they're taking care of their family. A lot of our families would have been dead by now if we had not traveled abroad. Thank you to all of you. May God bless you, and may God continue to, expand your coast. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Kennedy, thank you for that very thoughtful submission. Thank you so very much. Let's take this comment by Jacob D. Jacob D says, I miss nothing about Nigeria. I can't miss seeing dead bodies on our streets while people walk by. How can I miss seeing children in hospitals gasping for breath because hospital has no medication? All right. All right. So I'm asking, what do you miss about Nigeria? What is that thing, or where is that place that you wish that we would go back to, as as a country. Please, let's talk about this. I'm coming back to you, my panelists. But first, I would like to appeal to each and every one of you to take out time to click on the dollar sign to the right on the comment section. Please take out time to support us financially as well as with publicity. And also, please like the broadcast. Please, if there's anything I have done to anybody that is making you not to like my broadcast, apologies. Please take out time to like the broadcast, please. It helps with visibility, ladies and gentlemen. All right, thank you very much. Biodun Latif agrees with Jacob D. Biodun Latif, welcome to the broadcast. Yes, so Brother Nice, I'll come back to you. What is that thing that's, yes, I know things are not, we are not where we should be. Things are bad. Things are bad. But you know, this, if we look at the picture again, we could also look at it from this angle. Just as Mr. Kennedy rightly said, you know, yes, we are going through a lot. The Nigerian people has been put in a bad place by the Nigerian government, by the Nigerian leaders. But this just says that regardless of every tear, every blow, everything that is thrown at us, we are still standing. With all of this tear, the flag is still together. Well, then again, you could see the O's in the picture also saying that this flag just might rip apart if care is not taken. How long, how much more are we going to be patching things? But in all of this, I believe that once upon a time, there was something that Nigerian did for you. Yes. So please, what is that thing that you miss about Nigeria? Brother Nice.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Ima, once again. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I just have a mixed feelings about Nigeria. You know, I miss the good days. You know, in Nigeria, but at the same time, I mix nothing. Just like what that comment that Jacob T just gave. You understand? He just described the kind of situation that the state is in Nigeria that makes us not to mix anything about Nigeria. You understand? I've been very patriotic Nigeria, but my leaders, all those leaders that we have already done it to that extent that the that is Nigeria can make a someone that is very passionate become someone else. You understand? If you are not careful, somebody that have a very good heart can become an evil person. That is the kind of Nigeria that we live. Every single Nigeria, eh, they have every single Nigeria are very resilient people. You understand? But the country we find ourselves, I have no word to explain it. I have a mixed feelings about Nigeria. Sometimes I miss Nigeria, sometimes I don't miss Nigeria. That is just the kind of feelings that I'm getting. Because if I think back and look at what has this country offered me, this country has not offered me just that I'm just fortunate to be born in that country. It has not offered me nothing more than that. Since I was born and brought up in Nigeria, I cannot beat my chest and say this is what I profit from that country, or I will say this was my right. No, the only thing I understand is that I just need to struggle and fight for myself. It's just like a country where there is no government. Everybody need to fight for themselves. That is how Nigeria is. You will not benefit nothing from that system. The elite, what they do, they just collect the money from our resources. It's just like what belongs to them. That is how they do it. Anyone that comes to power just believe that the resources belongs to their family, they are their family. They don't care about the people. You understand? So how are you going to tell me that people will mix anything about that kind of country? Imagine as I am now, when I think of those my friends that die on the sea, that die on the desert, How are you going to ask me if I miss anything about Nigeria? People that came out first class in university, they went to go and die in the sea, in the Mediterranean Sea, because the Nigeria did not prepare a better place for them to have a better life. You understand? So when I think of, whenever I'm talking here, I always remember those people that lost their life on the sea. Unfortunately, you understand? When we Nigerians approach these white people here, whatever they always tell us, where they are assisting other countries, they will tell us that we Nigeria should go back to our country, that our country is very rich. But we don't have home to go back to. We don't have home. Such country, how are you going to ask me if I mix anything about that country? The only reason I'm fighting is not because I miss Nigeria. No, I'm just fighting to change the status quo, to see if we will see a better light one day. Because that country has not offered me nothing since my birth till this time, till this age that I am now. I struggle throughout my life. My brothers, all my uncles, everyone that I've seen, all of them, the same stories. No one will tell me that this is what they benefit from Nigeria. The elite, they believe that Nigeria is their property, belongs to them alone and their family. So I don't miss anything about Nigeria. I'm just fighting because the suffering that I'm seeing that Nigerians are passing through, that's what makes me shed tears. It's not because of the wicked the people that is there or the leaders. I know. You understand? And that is why I always tell people, as I am now, I don't trust any of our politicians. I don't trust any of them. I only just want to give them a chance to see what they can offer us. That is why I'm telling you that I'm standing for Peter Obi. I want it to become the next president. Let me just see what he can offer. Because I'm disappointed already. I have no hope in Nigeria. I have no hope. A country where we are stuck here. We don't have home. I cannot carry my bag tomorrow and say I'm going back to Nigeria. You can be kidnapped and killed. Police can shoot you to death. All kinds of vices. The government don't care. They will only take their private jet. They don't care if people are dying. You understand? So which are you going to miss that such country? The only thing they just care about us, especially we in diaspora, they treat us like outcasts. They will say those ones that is in Europe, they don't have a voter's card. They cannot vote. That's how they talk to us. But at the end of the day, they will be telling us to contribute to the country, to send money back home to support the economy. But when it comes to our franchise, they will treat us as outcasts. You understand? We have no home. I cannot be proud tomorrow to go somewhere and say that I'm in Nigeria. They will treat you. I know. I don't just want to pour out my feelings here. So that is why let me just take it. Let me just take it easy. You know, the last time I shed tears here, people don't know the reason why I was crying. We are stuck here. Nigeria was a place where you will work. You will come to Western world before and work and invest in your country. But we cannot invest. We cannot go back home. In Nigeria now, if somebody just see, for you coming back home alone, you will be a target in Nigeria. You understand? If the politicians don't kill you, the vices in Nigeria, they will, all kinds of things. We don't have any value. The citizens don't have any value in the eyes of the leaders, the elite. It's just like a country where mafia, they just sit down on the head of the masses, using us as their tools. That's what they are doing. They don't have conscience. They don't a country where a student will be at home 7 months. They don't resolve the issue. They don't care about their education. What are you going to miss about that kind of country? Let us just exercise patience. Let's see what will happen if Peter Obi becomes the next president. If they are not going to steal this election, let us just continue praying. Because this evil man that is there. So, Miss Ima, I don't miss anything. For now, I don't miss anything about Nigeria, my sister. I'm only sorry for the people that is living there. in that abject poverty. That is what make me cry. Because human being don't supposed to live like that. A country where there is leaders seeing their people suffering, wallowing inside poverty, extreme poverty, they will fold their hands, spending money, sending money to other country to assist other country that will leave their people in poverty. Which kind of leader is that if they are not wicked? You understand? That kind of country will come out and they will be celebrating independence after 62 years. Nothing to show. They will tell me they are celebrating independence. Which kind of independence are they celebrating? Mr. Man, let me just stop here. Thank you.
All
Man
right,
of,
brother. Nice. Thank you. Oh, wow. That was a lot. Yeah, Mr. Pansach, you want to say something?
I was gonna say, man of prestige was gonna take over since it looked like you were absent, but I'm sorry you
Oh,
were sitting right there. Sorry.
oh no, I'm here. No, of
You want
course. I'm
you want
very,
you,
very much.
you,
I'm
you want me
very
go
much
ahead?
here with you guys.
You want
All right.
you want me go
Thank
ahead?
you. No, please, just a minute, man of prestige. Just a minute.
Okay, okay.
No, I'll come back to you just a minute, please. All right, thank you. Thank you, very nice. Thank you for your submission. Ja Chooks, Obi Breze says, Ima, I missed my village. Insecurity have denied the opportunity to go home. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Stewmaker says caricature of the flag and Buhari is an understatement. Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you for your sub. Thank you for that, guys. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Biodo Latif says, our hope is that Peter Obi will win and save us from all these calamities. Okay. Please keep your reactions coming. What is that thing that you miss about Nigeria? I am hoping somebody comes and relive beautiful memories on here. Please, somebody should do so. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. Michael says, thank you, Nice. I wonder what they are celebrating. All right, Michael, thank you for your submission. Okay, man of prestige, please take it away.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so the point is that what do I miss about Nigeria? I'll be very honestly. I mean, as far as the way I look at that, Nigeria is not anything positive about it. Sorry for that noise. Um, I miss Nigeria. I won't be, I'll be very honest about that. I definitely miss that country. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, I mean, I will stay here, try to be mature and all that kind of thing that I don't miss Nigeria. I mean, judging from I can recall it because I came here in the early 1990. I mean, before then, I can think about the way we do behave, because I grew up in Surulere, how the atmosphere was, looking at some of my older relatives, that came here, study in America and come back in US, come back to Nigeria, how we look up to them. So that is not anymore. I can't go home and have that kind of feeling. Of course, I miss Nigeria. I mean, I want to be going every time I feel free, insecurity. I mean, my hometown is like Oshowere. I mean, the airport coming from the airport. I mean, my father live in Owerri. I have to have a security. I have to ask for security. I mean, people over there living, they don't feel like anything is happening. But for me, I'm scared. They are not scared living in over there, but I'm scared. I can't just go to Nigeria with that having a security just from the airport to the main township, which is like about 20 minutes from the airport to Owerri. You know, but just fearful. There's no enjoyment going back home. It's not like it used to be before when I was growing up. So yeah, I miss Nigeria. If Nigeria will become what they used to be, I mean, you feel proud going to Nigeria. I mean, up to right now, to be very honest, I still like, I mean, even at my work and everywhere, I tell people I'm from Nigeria. I'm not going to deny, but I'm a Nigerian, regardless of some of the notorious people, some of the Nigeria perpetuate here or some of the bad image. But Nigeria is still a great country, so I'm not going to deny that fact. It's just sometimes, I mean, I'm not a man of a lot of speeches. Sometimes I don't even know what to say about, that country that I hope we can go back to what we used to be. But I have hope. I mean, I keep on having hope, that will be presidency when Nigeria will come up. But it's going to take a while. I'm hoping that happened during my time. It's going to take a while, for Nigeria to be what they used to be before. I'm very confident in Obi. If few people have been following Obi recently, that man, he's very confident. He has gotten emboldened about his ambition because they keep on asking him, how about if you don't win? I listened to some interview, I think it was last week. I think it was in the Rise News. They're asking, how about if you don't win? He said, I'm going to win. He said, if you don't win, what's going to happen to your obedience? So he said, I am going to win. He's very confident. And in some of the statements he has been making recently, get to tell you what that man is capable of doing. Like I said, I read very a lot about that man antecedent. I didn't know much about him until this election, which I started following Nigerian politics. That man may not talk a lot, but he has all the ingredients to take Nigeria for where where they're supposed to be. And he made some certain statement that gave me hope. And he said, "I'm going to deal with the bandits." So he's not even scared about what the Northerners may feel about that, because people have been saying, "Don't criticize the North or don't criticize the bandit. They may not vote for you." No, he's not going that route. He said, "I'm going to deal with the bandit squarely the way they're supposed to do it because they are terrorists." Then they asked him, "How are you going to deal with the IPOB or Yoruba Nation?" He said, "I'm going to call them and dialogue with them." That's the way president is supposed to talk. Not Buhari, Buhari can't say nothing. I don't know if he's scared of bandit, he's scared of IPOB. You have to dialogue. Give them the opportunity if they want a referendum. Of course, believe me, that's what people don't realize. The Easterners, they want to be in Nigeria. If you give a referendum, it's probably going to be like about 10% people that say, okay, we want Biafra. But the rest of the people is going to say we want Nigeria because Nigeria is better to be one. So Obi is on that right track. Say this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to incorporate the country to become what we're going to be. So I have very good hope for Obi. But for now, um, I look at Nigeria as a first state. So I don't have hope for right now. If Obi didn't come into presidency and I don't know where Nigeria is going to be. Okay, I only come to Nigeria maybe once a year, every now and then. So, but I would like to come quite more often. So I'm hoping that Obi presidency will bring Nigeria to where they used to be. For now, I'm not. I'm not happy about Nigeria. I mean, I'm disappointed. Okay, so just nothing good about that country for now. So that's what I'm gonna say. Thank you, Emma. Appreciate it. Okay. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, Emma, it's your
Yeah. Yes, I
okay.
can hear you.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you for that, man of prestige. Thank you for your
all right.
submission. To
All right.
those just joining in, thank you and welcome. Those in the comment section, on the comment section, I see you right there. So Solomon Innocent, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if you follow the instructions, but if you exit now, when you click on the link and just follow every instruction, the last part, if you get to this part, it means it's either your device is because your device is not connected. You need to give permission. You need to give permission to your mic and to your cam. That's the only, if you've got it to the stage where I can see you, you need to give permission. Your device needs to be connected, because that's what the tools you'll be needing to speak on here. So it has to be connected. It doesn't breach your privacy in any way. You can always turn off. Most of the people here don't have their camera turned on, so you can always turn that off. But do well to give permission first, please. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Pansat.
Yes, thank you. The previous speakers kind of nailed it, even though some of them might be from the pessimistic viewpoint. Obviously, Nigeria is regrettably still grappling with foundational problems and a litany of unfulfilled promises. That's true. But there are so many things somebody will miss or love about Nigeria, no matter who's there running that country. Our traditional weddings, superb. I miss the ones that are authentic back home. Our jollof rice, the mouth-watering tomato-based rice dish that we enjoy back home. Our eating the chicken all the way to the bone. Our Nollywood films, it's untouchable. Obviously, up north, when they celebrate the Dobar mark, end of Ramadan, it's beautiful colors on the horses. And of course, our optimism. There's so many things to celebrate. The list, which is not the proverbs back home. In my village, I'm one of those guys that grew up in the village. If I have time one day, I will tell you about a lot of anecdotes. When I go to chase women across the villages. On the other side with my white horse. It's been many. I don't know if kids even know what a white horse is these days. It's a bicycle. But anyway, so if you think about some of our proverbs back home, they're manufactured in the villages, you know. They say monkey we no fine. Mama, in mama like I'm like that. So I understand. I say if you cannot dance, make you no get up. The man way they carry, you know, no see the journey they far. There's so many things about our culture. We love masquerades. We're very good at it. Many cultures in Nigeria and their masquerades, especially in the southern part of Nigeria. So, having said all that, one of the things that we love these days is, of course, Niger Watch. I know it's kind of corny to say that here, but on this platform, you see all kinds of intelligent people with different accents and the way they speak. You've seen Brother Nice, Mr. Kennedy, and so many others. Chooks, my brother Chooks, is an orator here with a lot of passion. And there are those who are not here. Of course, there are some that keep you awake when you want to go to sleep, such as Brother Mori, or whatever his name is. So now we have Mr. Obi. That is hope. That is hope. That is something to be really, really happy about because it gives our people hope. I have nothing to gain from Nigeria doing financially well and that kind of stuff. But one thing I gain is that our people are happy. If Nigeria is doing very well, the vibrancy of our culture, because somebody like me, let me tell you something. If I'm to become president of Nigeria, the Europeans will hear it. Because I don't even know how people, if I'm like Buhari, for example, how are you going to look at our history? What's happened to us? Africans, Black Americans, no matter where you are, Black people. And we have the resources and we have the garrulous, strong men in Nigeria. Our military used to be top notch. We have scientists. You don't even think about reclaiming our glory, punishing those who took us as slaves. You don't think about stuff like that. Try to make Nigeria strong. As a matter of fact, make it so good that Ghana wants to integrate and become a part of Nigeria, Cameroon, all these people. Because that's how America started with 13 colonies. They started doing so well that people have to apply to be a part of the United States until it grew to 50 states. So if I were to be president of Nigeria, one of the people that will hear it, first of all embassies in Nigeria, they're going to pack up their bag and go home because we could do business over the phone. I'll set the prices for our commodities. Oil, our Brent crude, it's not going to be the same price as the one they find in Saudi or something like that. I'll set the prices for stuff like that. And I will avenge the black man's plight on this planet because we can do it. Britain's got nothing. They don't have oil. As a matter of fact, I'll go to break them up. I'm going to isolate England as its own separate country. I'll free Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, so that we can rest. They haven't been punished for what they've done to us. They came and ravaged our country, took a lot of our people as slaves. So instead of us integrating, having this one currency, helping the Francophonic African countries to remove France from their midst, we're inside fighting one another, talking nonsense about tribalism and clannishness. You know, go and look at history, anthropology. Go and look at what they did to us. And look at what the resources at our fingertips, what we can do. We can actually expel these people from our continent, like China did. First, you got to be free, expel them. Look at every country that's able to expel Britain from their country. Look at how they did within 5 years, including India, China. It wasn't long ago that they lowered the flags, the lumberjack in Macau, Hong Kong, and so many other places, and told them to get the hell out of here. Since then, they've been progressing. So that's what we need to do in our country. It's not rocket science. We shouldn't be fighting one another. Think about what's holding us down. If West Africa should integrate, the rest of those countries would apply to be a part of a united Africa. So no, there's a lot to be happy about. Like I said, we still have hope. Mr. Obi is giving us hope. Maybe with him and Dati. I like Dati a lot. I think he's got potential. If they should mount that executive branch in February, they can begin to resolve the problems so that we can all contribute our fair share and make the country great again, and then and go from there. Thank you very much. I look forward to the rest of the panelists.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pansa. Thank you for your submission. Emmanuel Obasoha, thank you for being on this broadcast. I welcome you. And yes, you watching us. How are you doing? Welcome to the chat. Our topic is describe Nigeria at 62, our beloved country. Talking about beloved country, we are catching submissions and reactions to that thing that Nigeria has done for you. That thing or what you miss about Nigeria. There just has to be. There just has to be something that we miss. Yes, the country might be where it is. The country is where it is right now, and we are not pleased at all. But then again, what is that thing? What memories do you have? What's that good memories that you have of Nigeria, Mr. Kennedy?
Thank you very much once again, and thank you to the whole panelists and viewers all over the world. I first of all, let me try to encourage some of our brothers here who have probably lost confidence in Nigeria. But please, please, and please, I want you to rekindle the confidence you have lost. Please come back home. When I mean come back home, I mean please rekindle your confidence and love my country one more time, because all hope is not lost. You asked me what I miss about Nigeria. I wouldn't say I miss going back to the country, because I'm always going there. I'll be there 3 times this year, and I'll be going there again in 3 months. I don't miss the country that much, but I miss a lot of activities, probably because of age and all that. Nigeria used to be a very, very, very interesting country. When we were growing up, our fathers, my father was in the village and my father was a farmer and all that, but there was enough money to go around. He was buying cars, buying motorcycles and all that. We could go from one village to the other with motorcycles without, being financially stripped. The money was there, the food was there, and everything was there, and the the female, the women, the men, the boys, the camaraderie of Nigerians is actually very, very interesting. You see, when we used to have inter-house sport, when we used to have picnic, we used to have a lot of activities in school. Every Saturday when I was in the hostel, we used to engage ourselves in Saturday night. I think there was what we used to call it then, Saturday night and all that. It was like a disco and all that. It was very, very interesting. And Nigerians all over the world, Nigerians living abroad, Nigerians are very, very interesting people. When you are with Nigerians, though sometimes there are skirmishes or pockets of, pockets of, gossiping and all that. But if you look at the whole picture, Nigerians are very interesting people. All the countries all over Africa, they respect Nigeria. When I used to be president, I used to be vice president of Nigerians in the whole of Japan. You see, to the extent, other embassies, they invite us personally to attend their Independence Day party. So that is how great Nigerians are, because the embassy made us great and the country made us great. The only problem we are having now is the leaders that are not doing the needful. But Nigeria as a country is a very great country. All other countries in Africa wants to imitate Nigeria. They want to be Nigerians. And one other thing again, you see, in Nigeria now, we criticize our government. We criticize Buhari, we criticize Obaseki, we criticize, all our governors and all that, and nothing is happening. They are not arresting us. You see, it's still one of the best countries in Africa. In some countries in Africa, like Uganda, you cannot criticize the government. Even people living here in Japan, they are afraid to talk about the government. They'll be picked up the moment they get to Uganda. But in Nigeria, you can, even at the airport. There was a time I went back to Nigeria. I was screaming at the airport. I was screaming at the bad activities of the people at the airport, and even saying the president is useless. The president is and nobody arrested me. So Nigeria is still one of the best countries. The way I see it, is still one of the best countries in Africa. So we have been persevering. I think we should continue to persevere. We just have little time to persevere, because Obi is coming. Obi and Dati, they are coming to streamline the activities. Let us have hope. I want to give hope, rekindle hope in our people. We'll get to where we are supposed to be. Though we are not there yet, but I am very, 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 very proud to be in Nigeria. Very interesting country. There's so many things that are good about Nigeria. We only need these administrators to fix some few areas, and things will be okay. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Kennedy, thank you for your submission. Thank you so very much. Emmanuel says, thanks to all of you Nigerians across the globe. God bless Nigeria. Yes, God bless Nigeria. What Felix? Okay, you might want to share the joke so we can all laugh. But what Felix, thank you for being here and welcome to the broadcast. Jacob D, I wish you'd click on the link and come into the studio so Nigerians can hear your voice. All right, thank you for being here. Thank you to each and every one of you. Please take out time to like the broadcast. Please take out time to like the broadcast, and also take out time to support us by sending a super sticker or a super chat. Please, guys, please, ladies and gentlemen, please take out time to support us. Thank you so very much. Mr. Chooks, hi, Mr. Chooks, how are you doing? Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Emma. Good afternoon, fellow panelists and our viewers. Uh, you asked what we miss in Nigeria. A lot to be missed, to be frank. You know, um, I say I grew up in the north, right? But I grew up like a village boy too. Because I think from my year 4, I started going village to to learn the culture and everything, how the Igbo man does, when they want to do, so they keep sending me every July, the 6 weeks holidays. I always spend it in my village, and this, the memories is unforgettable, so and those things, I miss it. I know I'm not more a kid, so, do it that way, but we're the Igbos. We always have a way of doing it, the Christmas. If you want to know states where the Igbos reside much, your this thing will be in Christmas time, around 22, 23, till 28. Then watch out the street, you see how empty that area will be. So all those kind of a thing. I know the joy, when we come back during the Christmas holiday, from every angle of Nigeria, many people goes down to their village, celebrate. Most of them, you haven't seen them for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years. Those kind of moments, it's unforgettable. I remember again, growing up, Christmas time, everybody celebrate together. If we didn't go home, we share food with the Muslims, with everybody who is living around us. Same goes with when they are celebrating, Independence Day. I remember then we used to celebrate it like I don't know, but we used to see it as a big occasion. Somebody like me, I used to have a new shoe, a new canvas or new sandals during this very occasion. So I spoke about it last, I think last Friday. What is the kids of today gonna, celebrate? They barely eat food, for them to even go on that very day, the march past and all this. I don't know if they enjoy it in their own ways. Maybe, through these our current celebrities and others and the TV changing things, but those things I enjoyed as a child. I don't see it in Nigeria that much these days, so there's a lot to be missed, But you know, the way the country is being run, you know, individually, I don't feel like I'm missing anything, you know, other than family members. To be frank with you, because I went home last 2017. Okay, not because I don't have the money to go home, you know, but if I go home, I always spend my time in the village. Most of my time is spent in the village, you know. So, and I come from the southeast, and we know the story of the southeast as at today, you know. So that cannot be possible, you know. And I don't want to even joke with my security. That is one thing I don't joke with. I can risk every other thing, but not my security, because you can only you will be alive to, you know, say whatever you want to do, or you know, whatever you are, you know. So it's quite, you know, like last Saturday where we used to, there's a place where that we used to organize our Independence Day. You know, last Saturday we went there. It wasn't the same, you know, because many of us realize that it is not actually independent. You know, we are celebrating that day. We are celebrating freedom that is to come next February. That's what we celebrated. You know, the way we discussed, the way we shared idea, you know, when we get that place, tells us that, you know, this is, if we cannot do it, nobody can do it for us. Okay, I get them an experience which I pick over from the internet, you know, from Facebook. You know, some two American ladies that went to Switzerland, the holiday to Switzerland, and it happens that a Nigerian was driving them in an Uber. You know, I don't know what they're saying. You know, they were discussing different things, and the Nigerian, you know, talked about their former president Trump. You know, and they get angry. They got angry and they start, you know, raining abuses to this guy. You know, telling him how shit Nigeria is. You know, this is the kind of thing that if I remember, because you know, no matter how Nigeria is today, I don't allow you to put you know, to put me down. You know, even though I know what you're saying is true, I don't. I still hold my chest to say, hey, I'm a Nigerian. I'm proud to be one. In fact, I always use this. I don't know how to call it, but I always use this word. Niger no they carry last. That spirit of Nigeria, I always use it on my kids. I told them, look, if you grow up where I grew up for 1 year, you will know that God loves you, because I'm not thinking that you're gonna survive. That is how harsh that environment was for me. So for me to get up to date to say, hey, I'm a Nigerian, it's because that spirit of never die, that is in every Nigeria. I believe not just me, it's in every Nigeria. Every Nigerian has that, you know, never give up attitude. And that is one of our greatest assets. That is why Nigeria is still surviving today. That is why Nigeria is still surviving today. What is happening in Nigeria, if it happened in any other country that is as wise as Nigeria, that country would have burned. You know, they gave an example of the last speaker gave an example of countries like Uganda. Yes, Uganda, their problem is the fear. The fear. Nigerians, we are not afraid. We are just respecting them. Okay? We are not afraid. Go to South Africa. Malema always talk about Nigeria, how we are not afraid of anybody, but the white, no matter who you are. Just like Mr. Pansat said, if I am the president, you just see the border. See the borders. Don't listen to nobody. Organize your country. Do what you want to do. Isolate yourself. Then get ready. Educate your people. Come out, and the rest of the world will be running to come to you. You don't need to run to them. They need to run to you. I used to tell some British guys when they try to talk down on us, I used to tell them, I think 2012, that was a motion somebody moved about gay rights and lesbian rights. I used to give them an example of that. When the British tried to tell Jonathan that they must pass that, or else they will withdraw the aid they are giving, they told them to go to hell. That's the kind of Nigeria I want to live in. That's the kind of Nigeria I want to be proud to be a Nigerian. So, in a nutshell, I don't think I miss much, right? There's nothing to be missed about Nigeria other than our cultures and our, our togetherness, in quote, Apart from that, Nigeria has not given anybody a reason to be a Nigerian. Imagine when you are born, from the day you are born, if your parents are not rich, to pay the bills of the hospital, you've been detained straight away. Imagine that thing happening anywhere in any other place in the world. I mean, sometimes when I reason how, what do we gain from Nigeria? Because the first thing you have to gain from your country is that first medical attention, such as making sure that your mom, when your mom gets pregnant, that she go to antenatal, make sure that she deliver you safely, both mom and the child. That is the first gift Nigeria is supposed to give each and every one of us. How many of us received it? I'm not sure. I am not sure. So, even those who are participating in sports in Nigeria, I always give them kudos. That's why I don't joke with them. Even when some people are saying, oh, they played shit, they do this shit. Come on. If these guys are supported, guess where they will be? And these guys, despite the fact that Nigeria has happened to them, they are proud to stand on the podium holding that flag. I mean, those are the kind of things, if you ask me, I celebrate. Because I know they're suffering the way I am suffering. Yet, they have the mind to stand and represent Nigeria among the rest of the world. I think that is, in fact, this is the best thing I am missing, being a Nigerian. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That was a very lengthy one, Mr. Chooks. Thank you for taking us on that ride. Thank you. Okay, thank you to everyone that is on this broadcast. Mr. Van Maxwell, I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you also. Yes, okay, Mute, this is Ima. Welcome. All right, and then Jacob D, you called twice. There is no line I don't have a line yet for the chat. So if you could just click on the link and come into the studio. Yes, please do so. If you're just joining, welcome to the broadcast. Please do well to like this broadcast, do well to share, and invite someone onto the broadcast. Okay, so I'll be moving to King Emeka. Hi, King Emeka. It's been a long time. I've had you on the broadcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Good morning from my area. I've listened attentively to a couple of you guys on the panel speaking. Not been long I joined, I just wanted to know what was discussing about so I don't go off topic. Are we speaking about what we miss in Nigeria?
Yes, Nigeria at 62. We've captured the first one.
Okay.
Describe Nigeria at 62. Now, what is that thing that
Yeah,
you miss? So you
Nigeria
could
at
just match
62,
that.
as a country at 62 years old, is still a young country. And the country
A young country, as in
at 62.
infancy.
Not at infancy, but if you want to do like a comparison analysis with countries, right? Let's say you want to start from the time of the world, or maybe when God or Source created the earth, and then there were partitions everywhere. If we begin to take that and going back to history book, we would be able to say Nigeria is still pretty much a young country because of colonialism, the amalgamation of different tribes coming into one as a country, and the formation of a nation. In that respect, we would say Nigeria is still pretty young. and it's been faced with a lot of challenges and problems. If we had continued with our democracy since 1960, then we might be able to articulate specific successes, strengths, and weaknesses. But Nigeria on its own has been faced with multiple coups that has taken us backwards, and any success that we've achieved since we got independence has been eroded away, which is quite unfortunate. I know many of us, we want Nigeria to be very good, to hasten up with the speed of development. But at this point in time, if we begin to juxtapose Nigeria with other countries, we will see that we are a very peculiar country. We're a country with a huge population, and it's still growing. We're a country that is multifaceted with different tribes, different tongues, different people around with different perceptions and personalities. And that too is a blessing as well as is also a challenge, because the resources we currently have in the country, though many still untapped, appears to be insufficient for us. Regardless of that, there's still beautiful attributes of Nigeria. The weather is absolutely fantastic. You can compare it with the ones in the West. Currently now we're in fall and we're approaching winter. But in Nigeria, I think maybe just a slight rainfall, and the weather is all good throughout the season. And I know typically if Nigeria had probably like close to South Africa, I know a lot of Europeans that would be going back there to either as vacation or just to want to spend their entire life completely. Regardless, I would like to want to look at Nigeria from a point of view of strength. And I think the country definitely would continue in a positive light. We might have multiple challenges, but we will still, consolidate on the strength that we have. I know the Buhari administration has not been very good in terms of its economic outlook and focus, but it is laying down specific things that should have been done maybe in the 60s. Oh, it was done in the 60s, maybe in the 80s, because that was when things started turning around in Nigeria. Now we are reviving the railroad sectors. We are now looking at this deep sea ports. Now, the Niger Second Bridge is going to be completed by December 2022, which is a very good improvement and reduce traffic for those traveling back to the east. Also, the bill on the power bill has passed third reading, which empowers states now to begin to generate their own power supply. And I know Lagos State roughly takes about 40% of the power generation from the country, the national grid point. And Lagos State alone is a rich state, in comparison with other states, and even with other African countries. If they can start to generate their own power supply, that would take off 40% consumption from the national grid and allow other states the leverage for them to begin to enjoy something that's close to constant power supply. With that being said, a couple of things. The worst democracy is always going to be better than the best military rule. So we must appreciate our democracy. It still comes with challenges. The same challenges we were facing in the 1960s to the same thing we are still currently facing. And I've been privileged enough to live in different countries. In the West, yes, all countries have their own challenges. They come with their peculiar challenge. Just recently, the United Kingdom talked about the tax cut, and the pounds dipped to the lowest in comparison to the dollars. And that alone is causing a lot of problems. Now, the West is also looking at energy costs during the winter, which will go up as a result just to heat their homes alone. So every country in the world has its own challenge, multiple challenges. We have ours. And if you ask anybody, Nigeria is also faced with classism too, just like every other country in the world. There's always this classism that is involved. There's also racism, which in our own term is tribalism. rather than us coming together to unify, we're now looking at this viewpoint of I'm better than you, I'm superior than you. So it's everywhere. If you deep dive, then you also have religious issues, you know. But again, we are still people who want to strive to be better. Um, we might want to talk about solutions. I don't think that's not what everybody wants to hear. There are specific things I want to say. I know some people here who personally do not like me, and I don't know the reason why. I'm a Nigerian with my own opinion, just like them, and I'm entitled to such opinions, just like they are entitled to theirs. So I would, in order not to get them upset, I would not want to go into those areas. But again, uh, yes, we would want to wish Nigeria to become better. We want Nigeria to move forward. At the same time, we should not discount the challenges that we also have. Those challenges are those things that would want to hold us down. But we must continue to build on our small wins. And hopefully, definitely, we might not get to the promised land. I don't think that, we always want to dream about an end. There's never an end when it comes to human evolution. But hopefully we might begin to address some specific challenges that we have, and coming together to enjoy something called relatively peace and some prosperities. I think so. If you ask me, one solution I would talk about is we need to look at a way to curb our ever-growing population. It's a huge challenge for us. Many of us are not looking at it. We cannot, at some point, we might get to 300 million. We can't, there is no way except we might want to begin to speak to other Western countries to come build factories or build stuff or bring in their resources into the country. We might not be able to cater for 300 million people. We must look for a way to resolve our ever-growing population and then see how we can begin to catch up gradually, maybe with the rest of the world. In terms of if we are doing a comparison analysis with Africa, apart from South Africa, I think we are doing pretty much well than other African countries. Yes, we should. In population size, we are the biggest. Growth size in terms of our GDP, we are the biggest. Resources wise, we are the biggest. Market wise, in terms of Africa, we're also the biggest. So we should be spearheading the African revolution. We should also be spearheading the African change and be looking for a way to make things better for the African people. I would want to say that. But in comparison with the West, we're still pretty young. Even in comparison with the East, I mean, the Asian guys or the Southeast Asian or the Chinese, we're still pretty young. We are not there yet. But with time, as long as we keep democracy intact, we would count our wins. Regardless of what the politicians are doing, the politicking and the governance, we will count our wins, most definitely. And Nigeria will definitely, at some point, will begin to reflect the light that we hope it should. Thank you very much. God bless Nigerians and God bless everyone.
All right, King and Maker, thank you very much, and good to have you on this broadcast. Thank you for being here. All right, Judge, this is from Judge Bushel, and this is to you. It says, Emeka, you're welcome back. I respect your courage of coming back, even with all attacks and insults, though I am not in your political position. But hey, there's a welcome back for you, King Emeka. Welcome back to the broadcast, and I hope to see more of you. Thank you very much. All right, we have Mr. Vine Maxwell. Hello, Mr. Vine Maxwell. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good afternoon, Miss Emma. Good afternoon to my co-panelists. Good afternoon to those our listeners that are listening to us this afternoon. I'm happy to be here, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for that, Mr. Vine Maxwell. Okay, just before we go on, please, if you're just joining us, welcome. Or if you've been here longer than now, welcome. But do well to please like the broadcast, please. Thank you. And someone should please do well to support us by clicking on the dollar sign on the right. Please do well to support us with your likes and by sending us super sticker or super chat, please. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Van Maxwell, haven't been in Nigeria for a very long time, even served our country. and knowing what is happening right now, throwing it all the way back, what is that thing that you miss about Nigeria?
Well, Sister Emma, it is a great thing to be, part of Nigeria because my mother comes from, you know, the country. She is an Igbo woman from Abia State, to be precise. I grew up 5 years old before we relocated to Nigeria, according to my mom. And I grew up in Abia State. I enjoyed all the good things, any young man could have, have within those period. And fortunately enough for me, I tried and enlisted into the Nigerian army, where I served for 18 years. When you talk of carrying the flag of Nigeria, I was once, one of the, let me call it one of the shining stars, that bear the brunt of even keeping peace and representing Nigeria in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, in Rwanda, on observation, in Somalia, and the last one was Cameroon and Nigeria. You see, I enjoyed so much. And when you look at my experience in the army as at that time, most of my time, despite that I was from the Igbo-speaking part, that's where my mother comes from. Most of my active service was done in the northern part of Nigeria. That is the reason why I am very, very fluent in Hausa language. I am very, very fluent in Kaje language, and I speak Lantana as well. So it is a great thing to serve in Nigeria and being brought up in Nigeria as at that time. But coming, looking at what is happening today, I am very, very disappointed with what is happening today. And we must stop giving excuses why Nigeria is not developing. For most of us that stayed in Rwanda, Kigali, after that genocide, I do not know if any of us will be happy to witness what I saw in Rwanda. I don't know if there is anybody that would like to witness what I witnessed in Liberia for 3 years, 8 months. No leave, no transfer. I don't know if there is anybody here that would love to see what I saw in Sierra Leone as well, and so many other places like that. When you go, you see some of these countries, and you come back, you look at yourself, what is happening to Nigeria? Nigeria is it before when we were growing up, we see electricity everywhere in the 70s and 80s and early 90s. Electricity was, you can just switch on your light, you see electricity. But today, there is nothing. And we keep giving excuses and tapping ourselves, at our back and chest that Nigeria is progressing. No, for me, capital no. Nigeria is lagging behind. Nigeria is lagging behind. We have not seen what a country can offer through the leaders we elect to rule the country or to lead the country. When you look at other places, African countries, when you go into some of these African countries, yes, they are developing, but Nigeria should be a beacon of development in Africa. Look at UAE, United Arab Emirates, 1990s. These are countries that emerged 1990s, but Nigeria was rubbing shoulder with England in the 60s and in the 70s. Nigeria was far, far better than Malaysia in those days. Nigeria was far, far better than Singapore in those days. Nigeria was even better than Brazil in those days, based on what we saw and what we read. Why are we backward? I want us to come back home. Forget about whatever anybody says about Nigeria outside. Yes, we can fight the person, and let's come back home Let's drive the fox away and come back home and ask ourselves, what took the chicken to the bush? That is what we should be asking ourselves. The chicken went into the forest and was attacked by a fox. The chicken managed to come back home. The owner, let's chase the fox away and come back home and ask the chicken, what took you to the forest? That is what we should be asking ourselves. At this time and age, I don't believe that any Nigerian should be insulted anywhere they go to. I want to start with my own country here, my father's country here, Ghana. We don't respect Nigerians at all. Our people are so envious about Nigeria. They can molest you anywhere. They can talk to you anyhow. Why? Because of the horrible leaders you put in place in that country that have been ruling Nigeria for so many years. Forget about the military. Is this present government, the civilian government, not more corrupt than any of the military regime that have ever ruled? Or is it because the military rule by decree and not by constitution? Tell me what the military regimes that we blame because of, for our backwardness has done more than what this current government has done to Nigeria. I don't see anything to bring. Someone who is 62 years old today is retiring. Here in Ghana, 60 years, you are gone. You will not serve again. You are 62 years and you cannot generate electricity 24 hours for your people. When people manage to import goods from China, it costs you more to send that goods from Lagos to Abia State than to import it from China to Apapa Wharf. What kind of country is that? A country that invested so much, I think about $32 billion in research, and what they were able to produce was kilishi. I don't know whether you people know what they call kilishi. Those people that live in the north will know what is called kilishi. That was what they brought out as the proceeds of their research after investing over $30-something billion in it. And people were proud to come out to the public and tell people that this is what we got from research after spending $32 billion. And we clap for them. Up to today, those people are not being arrested or prosecuted and forced to go in for causing financial loss to the nation. There is nothing with what is going on now, Sister Emma, and my dear brothers and sisters that are listening and watching, us. There is nothing to be proud of. I don't know. Is it the killings that is going on everywhere? It is only in Nigeria that people are being killed and nobody is prosecuted. Is that how you are going to develop a nation? You don't have security. There is no power. There is no good road. What can we boast of at 62? The other day, I saw my comrades dropping with perforated in fact, it's gotten to a stage where Nigeria cannot even produce standard parachute for their airborne troopers to jump with. And that is the country we are proud of. I just hope that things will change. And I believe that things will change in Nigeria as long as the status quo is changed as well. And my problem is this: I will advise every Nigerian, both at home and in the diaspora, to please do all that you can to make sure that this crop of people, politicians, wherever they are, Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Fulani, name them, remove them from any political, from holding any political office or appointment, because they have done more harm than good to the people of Nigeria. Nigerians, if you put your passport today and you put Ghana passport today, they will first of all take Ghana passport and throw away Nigerian passport. That is how it has gotten. We must tell ourselves the truth. I am not happy that a country that I serve so much, I could have been killed. I could have been a dead man today after participating, let me say, roughly 12 years in the war front, serving that country. 12 good years. I never spent, let me say, 4 Christmases in Nigeria. I could have been a dead man today. But glory be to God, with what I was, equipped with, trained, with God on my side, and I'm alive, kicking. That is the only thing I will be proud of. A country that I raised up, a country that, in fact, I tried to raise up for the people in the world to look at them and see, oh, I'm proud of this country. But today, you come back, you walk. Let me just tell you right now, I said it, I wrote it on the comment section. One obedient was arrested simply because he's an obedient. Simply because he is a critic of bad leadership and seeking for a solution through obedient. That is why he was arrested by the DSS or the police at Murtala International Airport. And up till now, we don't know. We must keep tab on that guy so that they will not kill him, summarily execute him, just like the way they normally do. So, my sister, I don't see anything that I should be proud of, being Nigeria at 62. No. By now, Nigeria is gearing towards retirement. And as long as we will continue to give excuses for these people, I don't think we are going to make any progress. Nigeria is old enough to make life easy for their people. Nigeria is old enough to be more developed than those they started with. I thank you. I rest my case here.
All right, Mr. Vine Maxwell, thank you. Wow, thank you for pointing that out. We have there are lots of comments. Jacob D says we allow animals to rule over us. Someone comes here to insult us that tonight two Niger bridge is about to be second Niger bridge is about to be finished. Instead of us saying the truth, so people are here massaging lies that things are rosy. Okay, Mr. Vine, lots of people agrees with your contribution. Thank you for saying that. Michael Okere believes that Nigeria is a work in progress. So let us not give up on Nigeria. Let us continue to nurture this baby with so much love and transparency, accountability. Of course, and us being very involved in the affairs of our country. Why we keep blaming our politicians, why we keep blaming our leaders for all of these things, do we also not blame ourselves for where Nigeria is today? Do we truly think that we have no blame in all of this? I think we should really look at the picture holistically, and let's begin to do better going forward as as a nation. Let's be interested. Let's push that mindset of the people up there, that's where all the power is, or they've got the final say. I think we should let go of that notion and let them truly know that the people have a very important role. Yes, the people have a very important role to play. And when the people don't play their role, I think that's where all of this decay. I mean, we've allowed these people to trample upon us. We've allowed these people to see us as nothing because we have been doing nothing. So we should wake up to occasion. We should, see something, say something. We should come to that place. Please, let's come to that place. Thank you to everyone that has been on this broadcast today. Jacob D, you've been very involved, and I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear. Thank you for being here. Tony Osawe, thank you. Good afternoon to you too. Thank you for being on this broadcast. Michael Okere, how are you doing? Thank you. It's good to have you on this broadcast. I hope your day is going just fine.
How you know?
Steelmaker.
Hi, sorry to interrupt you. I'm really sorry. I have a meeting by 10. I just want to wrap up quickly before I do join that meeting. What I want to say, I just want to thank Mr. Vine Maxwell for his service to the country. It's not easy, dedicating your life to protect the, integrity of that country, and as well keeping the boundaries safe from other intruders. Putting your life on the line. I want to thank him. But there's a statement he made that I think I need to just speak on, not to correct him, but just to speak on. We do not know how the impact of the coups that the military has had on our country. those are very, very bad negative impact. If we had days, like I've said, juxtapose Nigeria with every other country in the world. Let's even leave out Africa. Africa is still in a mess. We're still a very young country. And in that growing phase of a country, you interrupt the growth on maybe your reasons. You might have different reasons why you want to do that. Maybe it's selfish, maybe you want specific things to be done as a military officer, and you come in and seize power from the people. That's completely wrong. It's unconstitutional. It is not okay. And this was done, I think the number of coups we've had, probably 5 to 7 of them, interrupting power, interrupting the will of the people, interrupting the democracy. Thank you very much. Interrupting the democracy that we should have had. You see, our democracy is still even young, currently from 1999. And regardless of that, we are still seeing some slight improvements, roads that the military abandoned, never thought of doing, and we never do, because they are not innovators, they are not thinkers, they are power grabbers. We see, even with the corruption, even with the public thefts of funds, some governors will still go ahead to fix some roads. That's why I mentioned the worst democracy is better than the best military rule, and will still be better than the best military rule. And also, I will give it to the obedience. I appreciate what they are doing, because it deepens our democracies. It challenges the power status quo. It makes politicians to raise the eyebrow. They cannot be ignored anymore. And as a politician, or as someone who is going into office to govern, you would try as much as possible to do what you would do to at least reduce the pains of the people. Now we can see that the youths are angry. Now they are demonstrating their will. Now they are shouting out that we want change. We want to effect this change. We want to be part of the electoral process. We want somebody who we feel we trust enough to go into power. It is very good for our democracy. We need a third force too, so that the legacy political parties can sit up and say, okay, if we have power now, we need to be careful. We must be able to do specific things. And also, as a release, I must begin to say this. Just like what John F. Kennedy said in Nigeria during his inauguration as president, it's not all about what the country should do for you. What can you also do for the country? Let's be very realistic too. Nigeria has the lowest cost of education if you compare it with other countries in the West, or compare it to the East, and even in Africa too. But here, you still find some people cannot afford education in this West, because you must go borrow. And some people spend a lot of their lifetime paying that student loan. We must appreciate Nigerians, because we have people who go to school, despite the fact, yes, they are not employed. I can't understand that, because we have 200 million people. That population alone, we are not thinking about it. It's a disaster for us in the future if we can't control it, or we don't generate enough resources to take care of people in the country. That's why we have the highest number of fraudsters, the highest number of criminals. Now we are looking at people going around kidnapping, because we want to survive. We must appreciate the beauty of the country too. But at the same time, that country is big. It's a big country. Let's appreciate that fact. But I still thank you, Mr. Van. It's not easy. I appreciate the service you did for our country, and I appreciate that things are not going the way we want it to go, but we will get there. No power supply with the bill coming in place. Many states will have the resources. I think Rivers State will be able to want to do theirs. Lagos State will want to do theirs. With time, I told someone in the party that I was yesterday that with time, in 10 or 15 years' time, Nigeria will have constant power supply. And with that, everybody, even the West, know Nigeria is a huge market. People will begin to come. Microsoft is already in the country. Google is in the country. HP is in the country. We have a hub. Nigeria can become the next tech hub in Africa. It should become the next step hub, because we have intellectual people, we have intelligent people who are putting in their hands to help that country. I know a lot of smart Nigerians there. In Africa, we are the best. Let's be honest. We are the best, and we will continue to remain that way. But again, let's cut that country some slack. At 62 years old, with multiple interruption of power, I think we deserve a bit of part at the back. We've tried a bit. If by 1960 and then we're at this point, then we will say Nigeria is a mess. But not at 20-something years of democracy. And within that 20-something years of democracy, we can see some small development. Regardless of how little it is, we can still see some small development. We are not producing rice. We are now producing rice. In the future, we will begin to export rice, just like Thailand is doing. The president has approved some budget to go into 4 countries. I think Jigawa, which other place again? Ebonyi is producing rice. Lagos is now having a rice mill. Where again? I think Katsina or Kaduna, I don't want to quote off, I might be wrong. But we are doing some, agriculture is getting better. 20% to grow to the GDP. With time, let's produce our own food and be less dependent on importation. We will get there. Thank you very much, guys. It's a pleasure me being here. I don't want us to give up hope on Nigeria. I want us to be hopeful. We'll get there. Definitely, we might not get to the promised land, but we will build on our successes. Let's pray that we are old enough to enjoy some of these, the things we enjoy in the West, at least constant power supply. And then we can appreciate the beauty of democracy. Even though how bad it might be, democracy is still very good. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Thank you for that, King Emeka. Thank you. I wish you a good day. I hope you have a better day. Thank you. Yes, Solomon, Mr. Solomon, thank you for coming in. You finally made it. How are you doing, Mr. Solomon?
I'm good.
Okay, Mr. Chris George. Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your panel. Thank you, everyone. We're still in the morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Chris George.
Okay, thank you. So can you recap me a little bit for the topic that just come new?
Yeah, we are talking about Nigeria.
Okay. Well, what can I say about Nigeria? Like this, my brother just said something and left. Said that Nigeria is trying. In which particular area Nigeria is trying? If can we be specific for ourselves? Which particular area? Because when you say you are trying, you look at your neighbor. Are you better than your neighbor? Your neighbor better than you? That's what Nigeria will say. Let me use this catastrophic country in our northern parts. For example, in Africa, like Libya. Libya, there's no any government in power, but Libya has electricity. Libya has water supply, uninterrupted electricity, but there's lawlessness in Libya. But Libya, there's permanent electricity, and there's what? Water supply. Water supply in Libya is free. But 62 years of Nigerian, we don't have electricity. Look at the Benin Republic in our backyard, Cameroon, Ghana on the other side, Togo on the other side, all of them have electricity. You know, the problem Nigeria will have the way the country fraction, the way the country design, that's the problem we have. Because Nigeria designed to benefit the politicians, not to the masses. If you ask me, I will tell you, Nigeria are designed to benefit the right, not the poor masses. That's when I keep on talking one of my guys over here said that in Africa, when you become rich, you continue rich. When you become poor, it's very difficult for you to become a rich, for you to dine among the rich people. Because the resources in Africa made for the riches and the politicians. When you look at Nigerian, if Nigeria to be fractioned equally among the masses and politicians, to forget about tribalism and regional meaning, you see that Nigeria is a very industrial nation, a hope nation that people can hope for future. Entire Africa can come, and Nigeria will carry them along. But the way the country fraction is very bad. Let me give an example. If for the let me combine these two regions in South and Southeast, I find that if that region resets and fraction good, that region can accommodate many entire African nations because there's a lot of opportunity in that region. For instance, if a Port Harcourt seaport is working, it can accommodate a lot of employment. The one in Calabar is working, it can accommodate a lot of employment. The one in Iwari is working, it can accommodate a lot of employment. The one in, if the one in Atlantic Ocean near Southern Niger can be built and function, you see that region can generate a lot of employment. So, but because of the how Nigeria designed to oppress some people and favor some people, let me put it in that way, is that Nigeria cannot be worked. Let me tell you, if the Nigerian government are really serious with themselves and meant well for the masses, the northern Nigeria are good for agriculture, while the west are what for shipping also and some part of agriculture and the mineral resources. While southeast we use as manufacturing hub, and south we use as what oil hub and what shipping hub. But the politicians know that when they do that, the masses will benefit. But because I want the masses to worship them forever. They want the poor one to worship them forever. Can you imagine that only one seaport is serving entire Nigeria? Only one in Lagos. So the Nigeria doesn't fraction to benefit the poor people. That's the problem we have. Take about the issue of electricity. What it takes Nigeria to generate electricity? If Nigeria are true with themselves, you see, only 1 year can issue of electricity can be solved. Only 1 year can solve issue of electricity. And you know that without electricity, no nation can be industrialized. Permanent electricity are what? Permanent industrialized nation. Let me tell you, if Nigeria are going this way and we not get it right, next 10 years, Nigeria and Bangladesh, I don't know which one is going to better than Afghanistan. Because every time poverty increasing and the young girls are giving birth like a rat. So poverty increasing while young boys are what? In northern part of Nigeria, their younger youth are what? Terrorizing everyone, while the southern part of Nigeria, the youth are based in cyber crime. So the issue of Nigeria can be solved within 1 year. Everyone will live permanent, everyone will live good and comfortable. Thank you. Let's continue.
Can I say something? Hello.
Yeah, I think Emma is. You go ahead. We can hear you, sir.
Oh, I should go ahead. Should I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, please. Yes, please
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead. You can go ahead. Emma is.
Okay. Thank you so much. I was listening to the program before I decided to join the program, and I just have a few words and few things to say. You see, all of us are Nigerians, but I feel so ashamed that we, the youths, don't see the future. And anybody that just come out for president will start supporting that. This one will bring change, and will hide. It seems like we are afraid of the future. The answers that happened in Toget, a lot of people were killed, and the youth didn't rise up and defend anything. At the end, we have an election coming up by next year. All we just do is to campaign to Obi and campaign for Tinubu and that's it. Sri Lanka has an issue because of bad government. The whole people came out and protest, and they went to the government house, and the president ran away. I can remember in history, France, they did a revolution because of the country was bad. Things were not working. And there was a revolution. The revolution, it was not carried out by elderly people, it was by the youth. Nigeria is 62 years old now, but there is nothing we can write home about. There is no job, no education. The schools have been closed for 8 months now. We don't have road, touch everywhere. In short, millions of Nigerians are living in poverty. The question I was expecting the youth to ask is, what way forward? Are we going to keep on like this? The same thing keep repeating, the same constitution. Nigeria was formed by fraud, which we know. The amalgamation was there was no Nigeria, there was no black man there. That's okay, let's form Nigeria. This was what the British then just formed to use it for their own personal interest, for just to enslave us. And we know these histories for we to come out and say, let's decide what to do and have a good future so that we can live like the white. We can do better than that. Nigerian youths are hardworking people. They have brain, they can think properly. But we have been enslaved, we have been dehumanized, we have been put into oppression such that the youth don't even know what they want. They don't even study, they don't even read histories. Know that these things are something that is in the constitution. This thing has something that they have written. And it will be very difficult for any politician, being it anybody, to change Nigeria for a betterment. I don't think it is possible. And they don't see these things. The youth don't see all these things. Because one, the constitution is there. The constitution is there. The Fulanis, they have more upper hand. When we went for the protest in Hileki Tollgate, the NSAS, the Northern, they refused to come. In Nigeria, we have about 12 states in the northern. They are practicing Sharia and whatever they call it. They had the Ishba police. It seems as if these people are different from Nigeria, and we call ourselves one Nigerian. But the youth don't see all these things. If you want to become, there are people, we have been told that there are people who owns Nigeria. For you to be a president or whoever, you have to meet these people, you have to see them. And we know all these things, we see them, but yet we just say, no worry, this one go enter, and go change, and go bring change. No. You see, when we talk about electricity, we are not even ready. It is a very big shame that we have oil, we have refineries. If our people can be doing bunkering, they will be doing bunkering, and they will be refining fuel, crude oil in a local way to get petrol, kerosene, diesel, and the rest. And you want to tell me that a full country that have refinery, the refineries cannot work, and they are not working. And the man single-handedly is building a refinery that want to work. And we have a lot of them that is not working. And everybody just keep quiet. All these refineries will create a job. They will create thousands of jobs. I watch Channel TV last time. I saw my governor of UK was commissioning road. I was ashamed because all over the world you will not see where they are commissioning road. The developed countries, the government, they know they have the urban plans, they have the landscaping. These people, they decided that they have the standard. Even the wires, the cable, like the electricity we are talking about, they have already raised the cables all over. So when you are building your house, it just connects. The roads are something that government, they know that we don't need to like announce or commission. This is something that we are supposed to be doing. So they know they have already structured everything, map it, and they continue doing the structures. But the youth will say, I leave am na making go, he don't do better na this one to at least try na him build road na him build 12 capacity. He did this one, he did that, he do better pass on that one. We are just doing comparison, he do better, and we are dying. Our children are dying. We don't have future. You see, for me, the future lies on the youth. Until the youth realize and wake up and say, to hell with these old people. It is in only Nigeria, okay, let me just say Africa or Nigeria, that you will see a politician going with security, police that's supposed to be the protector of the people. Now you are guiding the politician, which means if you have money and the police are guiding you, The people are waste because they can tell the police to go and shoot somebody, arrest this person, and it will be done. Just because of we don't have law in Nigeria. The law is not working. So sometimes I see when they say talk about constitution, I say which fraud constitution? The constitution is a fraud. The constitution is a fraud. We the youth is my major anger is on the youth because it seems like they are not ready to take the power by themselves. I know everybody is afraid of to die. The thing that Nigeria need for me, what Nigeria needs is a revolution. It does not matter who it is. We are scared to die and we are dying in silence, kidnapping everywhere. Politicians are using our forcemen to kill us. Yet we are still scared. They will still go there and oppress us. Yet we are still saying, nah, let's give this one a chance. We will continue giving chance. Our generation will pass. The next generation too will come out, and it will still be a continual process. For me, I don't believe in Nigeria because I see nothing is working, and I don't even see the possibility of change because Nigeria is owned by some cabals. And these people are not ready to release Nigeria because the cabals, this is their investment. They are benefiting from it. The youth are hungry. When they give them little job, they start supporting the bad ones. So let me just end there because for me, my own is that Nigeria is not working and Nigeria can never be better. It doesn't matter until the youth decide that enough is enough. We have to amend the constitution. We have to decide. We have to decide if all of us are going to be in Nigeria or we go our separate way or we change the writing or they carry out a revolution. So that
All
is
right.
just what I have to say.
All right, Mr. Solomon, thank you for your time on here. Please put your mic on mute, please. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your submission. Thank you to everyone on the comment section. Jacob Z, I see you going back to back. Yes, I am also asking the question, Michael Okere, where are you? 24 hours light in Cross River State or in River State, as you say. That's amazing. That's amazing. I do not doubt this because while I was in the north. Yes, they were having lights for days, more than 24 hours for days. So I do not doubt this. So it's good to know that this, has been extended to other parts of the country and not just the north. It's really good to know. Kudos to that. Please, Mr. Solomon, please put your mic on mute. Please put your mic on mute. Thank you very much, sir. All right, we have Mr. Collins in the house. Hi, Mr. Collins. How are you doing? Good day to you.
Emma, I'm doing fine. Your voice don't change. It's like you don't talk too much today.
It was since from Saturday. I'm yet to even get
Because
to
I
my voice.
remember when we did the newspaper review, it wasn't like this. So your voice don't changing seriously. You need to take something.
Yeah,
Well,
real. Yeah.
about the Nigerian independent, I think I can say for me, I can probably say more than 10 years now, I haven't celebrated the Nigerian independence because there is nothing for me to celebrate. So I don't even, if somebody wish me independent, I always caution people around me, don't wish me independent because
Mhm.
there's nothing for me to celebrate. And then I will say people around me started knowing, and since then they stopped wishing me. Nobody even about 10 years now, nobody have ever sent me anything message of independence. So because I already have to make people to know that I don't need that message in my phone. So looking at the way Nigeria is working, if you look at the situation in Nigeria, you begin to ask yourself what is going on. The country is not moving forward, it's not going anywhere. And that is the reason why you see everybody on the streets now yelling. Everybody's tired because we can't be folding our hands and expecting God to come down from heaven and do it for us. We are the people, we the citizens have to stand up and take the country back from this so-called cabal, so-called Nigeria politicians. So we have to stand up. And if we don't stand up, nobody's going to do it for us. The white people are not coming to do it for us. Even Christ is not coming to do it for us. So we have to take the power by ourselves. So for me, I am surprised when you look at Buhari, the whole thing Buhari was reading yesterday because all those things is crap. So he was reading the whole note. I used to call it note. Every year, Buhari will come out and read notes. So when the particular one that really got my attention, when he said about the insecurity that he have eradicated everything, corruption or insecurity in Nigeria, I kind of asking myself, Are these people living in another planet, or are they living in the same Nigeria that I believe that people are living? Because if they are living in that the same Nigeria, I don't think that somebody can come out and tell his citizen that anything corruption, anything insecurity is no longer there again. So I think a president like that to come out and lie for his citizens and nobody question him and nobody even asks any question, on independent day, but will just come out and read newspaper. That's supposed to be, even for me, that's supposed to be a press conference. People will come out and they'll ask president a question. This one, he will just read the paper and everybody will just go. Next year again, he will still come back and do the same thing. Thank God he's not going to be there to read the same paper again, because he's not going to be there to read the same paper because we are tired of hearing that paper. So looking at the way Nigeria is going, there is nothing there to celebrate. If you remember back in there, I remember when I was in primary school then, when it's a time to celebrate independence, everybody will be happy. You will go to iron your clothes because we are going for March, everything. There is this kind of joy in that time. There is this kind of joy because you want to celebrate Nigerian independence. There is even, you will iron your clothes, your school uniform, everything will be clean because you are going for stadium. It's a very as in, that time it was very interesting. Everybody, every children in sea were very happy because we believe that the country is going to be good for us. Now, if I look at back then and look at where Nigeria is, I will take those days. I prefer Nigeria then than Nigeria now. That to show you the level we are. I prefer Nigeria then than Nigeria now. So for me, the way the country is going is not going anywhere. And my call to every Nigeria that we should come out and do something about it, because if we don't come out, nobody's going to do it for us. Nobody is going to do it for us. And look at the list. Buhari listed people that they are going to honor. You ask yourself, look at the kind of people that you want to honor. Do you know what it means for president to honor you? That is a very big thing in other part of the country. If there's a lot of people that are supposed to be in that list, but they are not there. But look at the people who are there, even criminal people who are their case are still in court, who are still in the EFCC watch list, are still in that list. Then you ask yourself, what are we doing? Does that mean that we don't celebrate good people anymore, or does that mean that anything that once things is good is not meant to celebrate in Nigeria? We are meant to, portray everything evil. So for me, a lot of that list, about 400 something people or whatever they call them. If you look at the people there, even 5%, you can at least take 5%. Other ones, you can't take other ones there. So it's just like Buhari awarding his friends, friend by friend, your party members. He keep awarding your party members honor. So for me, those things are like things that will discourage people. Even when people want to do good things for their country, when they look at something like that people that Buhari is honoring, they don't want to do anything again because there is no need for you to do. Because all those things is something that will motivate people to begin to do good things. When you look at those kind of a thing, you want to do something for your country. But when you look at all those things, that people that is receiving honors, people as in bad people are the one receiving honor, then the good ones don't receive honor. So that shows you the country. And we are praying that at the end of the day, I know that P2B is not going to be the Messiah, but I keep saying it. It's going to change a lot of things. At least today, a lot of people have started humble themselves. If Tinubu can come out and do 8 seconds video just to prove himself to Nigeria that I am healthy to run, at least that is a humble. Before, Tinubu cannot do that. You understand? So Atiku cannot dance for 3 minutes. They can't do that before. But at least people have begun to humble themselves, and that should show Nigerians how important our vote is. That alone should at least open people eye to show them how they're important the vote is, because of Nigerians are making noise now. That is why you see all these people now trying to, prove themselves in one word or other. We should start asking them questions, start demanding things from our leaders. We should start and that is why you see Yaya Bello. When Yaya Bello come out and talk about what he's doing for Kogi people, look at Kogi today. Look at what is happening in Kogi today. All those things could have been avoided. All these things that happen in Kogi, if it's a state that is functioning very well or a country that is functioning very well, all those things should have been avoided. But look at the situation people find themselves, people, property, everything. So, and before all those, as in those things you see happening in Kogi State, I believe that there have been signs for those things, as in there have been a sign before that thing started happening. But because government don't look into all those matters, they don't even care about the weather, they don't care about anything. So they just allow anything to just happen. So for me, I'm just calling Nigeria that let this year, let's just celebrate this year. Said this year is a year that we are changing Nigeria for good. So coming 2023, everybody should rise up wherever you are, no matter the situation you find yourself. You just have to come out. And because we are not doing this thing for our own self, at least we have children that we are going to birth on this planet. So we should at least, since we know our country didn't treat us very well, we need at least let the country be a good place for our own children. So for me, any other person that have anything to do or anything that you want Nigeria to work, you have to make it work this year. Because if you don't make Nigeria to work, trust me, coming next 8 years, I think maybe by that time everybody already come up from Nigeria. Everybody already come up from Nigeria. So that's my take now. You back to the panel. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Mr. Collins, and thank you to everyone that has been part of this broadcast today. It has been an awesome broadcast. Thank you, Henry Gabriel. Thank you for being here. Judd Bushell, thank you so very much. Jacob D, thank you for holding it down. Michael Okere, thank you so very much. It's good to have you here. Steelmaker, thank you so very much. Thank you to Mommy Diaspora. Thank you so very much, dearest Mama. Thank you to Tony Osawe. Thank you, my Tony, for being here. I appreciate your time on here. Of course, Mr. Pastors HD. OG Oliha, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your time on here. To you watching, thank you so very much for being on this broadcast. Yes, guys, we are still catching reactions to where Nigeria assisted to. What's your reaction to this? What are your expectations? Yes, what are your expectations of Nigeria assisted to? Mr. Pansat, and to every other of my panelists on here, thank you so very much for your time on here with me. I really do appreciate it. We've come to the end of this broadcast talking about Nigeria assisted to. Yes. I haven't heard the submission of people on here and on the comment section. You can tell the way that people feel about their beloved country. Please, in this 1 minute that you have before the broadcast is ended, what do you have to say to Nigerians?
Thank you again. I'm very proud of the panelists. They spoke very well. Mr. Collins, Mr. Van Maxwell, George, and even King Emeka, he made valid points. Let me say that earlier in my own submission, I concentrated on the Byzantine social dynamics in Nigeria and our culture, and how proud I was of the Nollywood films and all those type of things, Nigerians. But let me take this opportunity to give some kudos to Nigerian government itself. I don't think I've ever done that before. So we should be proud of the Electoral Act of 2022. There are some key provisions there that we should be very proud that the Assembly and the President finally got together and did something. Most of us still don't know what's in there, but I'm gonna tell you, if I'm free today after my meeting, I'll try to be in the debate. I will be presenting, if I'm allowed, a video that was presented by one Mr. Igini. I think he used to be an INEC. He just retired, but he makes the point that this election cannot be rigged. And then, of course, I'm familiar with some sections that he didn't cover, such as the section 84, sub 12. That one has already yielded a result. In that particular provision, anyone holding a political office must vacate the position before he or she can be eligible to participate in a primary election, convention, or congress of political parties, blah, 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 right? So we do know that the rubber stamp Senate president, he's out of here. That is one of the most dangerous politicians we have in Nigeria. Somehow he got into be the Senate president, and he was rubber stamping everything, because we're supposed to have 3 equal branches, and there's supposed to be an adversarial system with the judiciary, with the executive, and then with the legislative branch of the government. So one thing Nigeria does all the time is to copy other countries, but they know there are what you call desideratums. There are some what you call sine qua non, essential things, prerequisites, necessary things you have to have. So if you go and you have a democracy and you have 3 or 4 branches supposed to be adversarial, but you then go and compromise. Let's say you allow the executive to pick and choose who is the Senate president and who is the chief justice, because we saw that happen where Buhari removed illegally the chief justice Onagin, arrested senators. He did this in one swoop. So they were able to place this guy as the Senate president. That is a sine qua non for democracy. If he can then compromise that, we don't have a democracy. Now, the gentleman that left here, Mecca, we didn't debate. This is not a debate. But what he was saying, as I digress a little bit, we've never had a democracy because what these military people did was to change uniforms. Okay, from Obasanjo, he was a military dictator. Okay, he was a jackbooted thug, just like Buhari and the rest of them that's been ruling us in democratic garb. But they're dictators. Okay, so the civilians we've had as president, they've just been accidental, such as Jonathan and Obasanjo picked Yaradua, and we know that Britain has been helping them. They're all trained in Britain, so we've had nothing but military. Okay, so for the first time, maybe the whole country is awake. We're gonna try to do democracy right. So going back to what I was concluding with is that we should be proud and thankful for that Electoral Act of 2022. It is something to be proud of, something to thank Nigeria for, as far as the government is concerned. And later on today, this afternoon, our time, I will try to make a presentation and to buttress that fact. Again, thank you, fellow panelists, Emma, your class act, professional, and thank you for what you did over the weekend. I watched the coverage of the marches all over the place, and thank Elvis for me. And thanks to the chat room. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pansa. Thank you. Always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. Thank you, and have an amazing day. Mr. Van Maxwell, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, and God bless you for this moment. I would like to tell all my cousins, because I call all of you over there my cousins, my nephews, nieces, whatever. You see, my aunties and uncles. That's what I call all of you. And I feel free and homely when I come to this platform. So you must permit me to express myself the way I want. Don't call me a Ghanaian. I am not a pure Ghanaian. The blood of Igbo tribe runs in me as well. And I have partook, in some, places in Nigeria as well. Try to raise the flag of Nigeria high anywhere. You see, the problem Nigeria has is that 1999 constitution. The reason why Nigeria has never made any, tangible progress is because of that 1999 constitution. That 1999 constitution is more or less, to me, a decree that was handed over to a civilian, democracy. 1999. It is retrogressive, not progressive. That is where the problem is. If that 1999 constitution is removed, Sister Emma, and the people come out, a force majeure is declared on that 1999 constitution, and the people come, left, right, and center, all angles, wherever they are, will come and write their own constitution that I will call the people's constitution. You will see how Nigeria will kickstart immediately in the path of development. I'm telling you,
What is holding that country down is that constitution that made a particular ethnic group in Nigeria or region in Nigeria superior in terms of numerical values, etc., and the share of national cake. That is the problem of that. There is no equality, there is no transparency, there is no justice, there is no fairness as far as that 1999 constitution is, is concerned. And I would like to say, even if you bring 100 P2B to operate with that, he will operate with it and go, and they will return to the status quo. That is how it is going to be. You mark what I am telling you today. The only problem of Nigeria is that 1999 constitution. Remove it, let the people come together and write their constitution, and you will see Nigerians enjoying their country. Thank you. And may God bless all of you and bless Nigeria Watch for this great platform.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Brightman. So thank you for your submission. Thank you so very much. Okay, we'll move on quickly to Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins, please, in 1 minute, what do you have to say to my...
I just want to thank you, Emma, for having me, and also thank Nigerians as well, and also thank my fellow panelists as well. I don't have much. All I'm just telling Nigeria that they should keep doing what I did. They then keep their spirit high. And what is happening in Nigeria is not happening in Nigeria alone. Look at what happened in Brazil. You know, somebody won an incumbent president there. So it also happened in Afghanistan. It happened in Iran. Everywhere people are trying to take their country back. So we should look at those people. If people in Afghanistan, where war is happening, wants to take their country back, in Iran, people wants to take their country back. That shows you how people are tired. So we should keep with that spirit. And at the end of the day, at the end of all these things will justify. Our labor is going to justify it at the end because we are going to have a good government. So that is all I have to say. So we should keep doing what we are doing. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Collins, thank you so very much. Thank you for coming into the studio. Thank you very much. You watching this broadcast, thank you so very much. Really do appreciate those on the comment section. You guys are the real MVP. Thank you for letting it all out on here. Thank you. Amazing Grace, thank you for being here. Ifeanyi Emecheta, thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Chris George, you'll be the last panelist for today. So say something to the people of Nigeria in 1 minute, please. Okay, seem to have lost my panelists. Well, thank you to each and every one of you that were on the platform to talk about Nigeria today. It is worthy and very deserving when we talk about our country. Also, today we've had to relive memories of the good old days in Nigeria. Thank you to my amazing panelists that brought it home today. Thank you to everyone on the comment section that brought it on today too. Do not forget to join our other lineups. We have the newspaper review Monday through to Saturday, 10 a.m. Nigerian time to 11. And then we have the chat Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Nigerian time. You know we have our discussions Monday through to Thursday, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, and we have the debate 6 p.m. every Friday. We have the Sunday show with leftists and with what is happening as the campaign has officially started. Be sure to come up. Be sure to turn on your notification bell for we will be coming in. That was so distracting. Michael Okiri, thank you so very much. And yes, thank you to everyone that has complimented on my dress today. I probably would have to wear it tomorrow again because I love the compliment. But thank you. Be sure to turn on your notification bell. But we'll be coming back here. We'll be coming here every day, every day, every day. Yes, yes, yes. Please do so. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, Niger Watch family, endeavor to support us financially. Also, to run this broadcast, it costs a lot to run the platform. It sure does cost a lot. So please take out time. Oh, mommy, diaspora, DRS, thank you so very much. It costs a lot to run this broadcast. So please take out time to do so. And please like the broadcast. Please let the people of Nigeria know what is happening. and it can only happen when you like the broadcast. But don't like the broadcast twice. You can only like it once. Also, you're using multiple devices to watch this. Else, I think that's all. That's all the announcement I have for each and every one of you. But thank you to my amazing Niger Watch family. See you later on in the evening. Yes, see you later on in the evening. Thank you so very much. All right. So until we see again tomorrow for the newspaper review, you just have to take care of yourself, be kind out there, and do not forget, keep preaching the obedience message to people in a very peaceful way, of course, not aggressively, but let people see the facts out there, why they have to. We have to believe this also. Yes, we have to believe this strongly that we can do this, that we will emerge victoriously, not because anybody has been paid, but because we want Nigeria to be better. Yes, because we want Nigeria to be better. Please do take care of yourself. Extend an act of kindness to somebody, be it family, be it stranger. Extend an act of kindness to someone. Be the smile on someone's face. Thank you so very much. I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So until then, take care and bye-bye.